Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another Optc video, and in today's video, we're taking the new verse unit, KAIDO vs Big Mom, into Revolutionary Army 2. And I've got two teams for you guys in this video, one utilizing KAIDO as captain, and the other using Big Mom as captain. What I want you guys to do for me today, in the comment section below, when you guys watch both of the runs, let me know who does it better. Was it KAIDO? Let me know in the comment section, just by putting a K. And if Big Mom, you think Big Mom did it better, put BM in the comment section below as well. And while you guys are down there, don't forget to belt the like button for me. And if you're new to the channel, consider hitting that big red subscribe button as well. But before we hop into the runs, let's take a look at the team. So, man, KAIDO vs Big Mom, their art is actually just so clean. As a captain, they boost 3 different colors respectively: strength, int, and then dex for KAIDO, psi for Big Mom. So for the KAIDO team, it looks a little bit like this. So we are using KAIDO as our leader. He's a 5 times base captain, and then has this amazing verse effect. You guys know how amazing he is. Check out the showcase video, a little card on top there if you guys need to know exactly what this guy does. But the next unit we have is Arlong Crew. Arlong Crew is incredible, as they're not only a 2 times attack boost, or a 2.5 if we have low HP, but their switch ability actually also can give us a base stat boost of up to 250 extra attack, depending on it per HP. So fairly nice little switch ability we got going on there. But we can actually use the support of Fuji as well. Now Fuji's great, as he's going to rotate Slash's orbs when you use a special, provided they're unfavorable to their own type, and it works very well against the Limbo stage. If you guys don't have Fuji, you can use a KAIDO here, but I'm using a KAIDO on Law, and we'll talk about that in a second. The next character we have is Corazon. Now for this team to function, if you do want to use this team, you do need this Corazon limit break keyed, and if you have the materials, I would highly recommend limit breaking them. And if you don't have this unit, pick him up from the shop. He's for 150 coins. I think he's live now actually, but when he does go live on our next rotation, make sure you guys grab this guy because he's incredible. 3 turns of basically every debuff in the game: bind, despair, paralysis, attack down, lock, chain, decrease chain, multiplier. He literally just does everything, and heals 50 times his recovery at the end of turn. Just amazing unit. You can also use V2 Law as a support for an extra orb buff, which is just insane. The next character we have is the Rare Recruit Law, the one that came out with the super types, Luffy and Sabo. He's going to remove bind, despair, and paralysis by 5 turns, and does fixed damage, which is very good. You can also remove resilience, but that's not the point for this team. You need to make sure that he is in the bottom left-hand slot, as we do need him in that particular spot for the Limbo stage. We are using a KAIDO as the support on our Law, as he does damage, which means we can get a full board of strength orbs and a 1.5 times attack boost to our strength units. But like I said, if you guys don't have Fuji, you can use this guy on the Arlong Crew, as it's not really essential to have him for the Law. Next we have Dofi. Dofi's incredible for this particular content, as he can remove resilience by 5 turns, and he gives a boost to attack and slots for fighters and shooters. But the big reason he's here is for the Morley stage, as we can use the Bellamy support, and Bellamy actually removes 2 turns of defense up and threshold. So the combination of that can actually remove all of the defensive effects that Morley puts up, and then we can take him out in 2 turns, which is very handy. We are using the Mama Shanta for this team, as we can guarantee a recovery orb, just making KAIDO's versatility just pop off quicker, as we're going to outspeed the normal attacks only. Onto the Big Mom team now. We are obviously using Big Mom as our captain. She's exactly the same as KAIDO, but she just boosts Psi, 2.25 times attack, and then 2.5 times orbs on the following turn. Changes block into recovery. She's just incredible. She has a Selma orb mechanic with a verse ability, which is really strong too. Not being able to change Selma orbs just helps out so much. Not for this particular content in particular, but that is the big upside to her verse ability. Next we have Colosseum Neptune. This guy here is actually probably replaceable with actually no, now I'm thinking about it, he's probably not replaceable. He removes resilience, but he can also give a a orb boost to Powerhouse and Cerebrals, which 2/3 of this, 2/3 of this team actually is. The big ones being Big Mom, being Powerhouse. So he works very well, as we use his resilience on the Morley stage, and also the orb buff on the final stages as well. Chopper, another amazing unit for this particular team. He removes blind, despair, paralysis, basically every nasty defect in the game, which is very strong. Very similar to Corazon. He's just sort of does it for 5 turns, which arguably is a little bit better, but Corazon has a shorter cooldown. So for Big Mom has Chopper, KAIDO has Corazon. It's a fair trade if you ask me. Next we've got Rayleigh. V1 Rayleigh 6+, absolutely god tier. He's just aged like fine wine. Blind Despair, paralysis by 7 turns. He has a Sailor ability to reduce his special by 2 turns every time someone else uses a special. He's just such a good unit. Very, very good unit. Make sure he's in the bottom left-hand corner, as we do want him for the Limburg stage, very similar to the Law. The final unit on this team is Luffy Sanji. Now, Luffy Sanji is a god tier unit for both Kaido and for Big Mom, especially Big Mom, because she boosts both Sanji and Luffy, and the fact that they give recovery orbs, which Big Mom makes matching, like, it works so damn well as getting a 2.5 times attack boost. They're just incredible for this run, as well as being able to use the Germa support whenever you guys get rotated orbs. We can get a full board of T&D orbs. Now, that works a little bit better for Kaido, but it can also stack into Big Mom's versatility too, so nothing to shrug at, but it's definitely not essential for this run. The last thing to mention before we go into this is we are using the Nostro Castello 2.0, as we get a massive HP boost, as well as a nice chunky attack boost for our Strength, Science, Int characters, which Big Mom boosts all of them. Something else to note that I forgot to mention too is Perispero is essential as a support on Big Mom, as he removes 2 turns of defense up in Threshold, as we definitely need that against Morley. But that's enough about the team, guys. As I mentioned at the beginning, make sure to let me know which team you think did it better. Was it Kaido or Big Mom in the comments? Let's hop into the run now and let's find our answer. So for the first team, we're using Verse Kaido. So this is what the sockets look like. This is what the team looks like. Notable supports, we have Bellamy on our Dofi, Kainu on our Law, and we have Fujitora on our Arlong crew. Those supports are, I don't know if they're like super required, but it definitely helps like with the speed of the run. The Kainu support you could probably put on the Arlong crew if you don't have Fuji, but one of them is definitely required, and Akainu is probably a little bit better, but if you have both, you can obviously use both like I am. But the Bellamy support on Dofi is absolutely essential for when we get to that Morley stage. So we are just going to take our time here and just get through the first stage. Now, I am trying to farm up a couple of T&D or recovery orbs in this first stage, and for this run, I'm actually using the Mama Shanta, as Mama Shanta can actually guarantee us a meat orb on our bottom right unit, which can be very, very handy, just gaining that extra charge for the verse meter. So we're just going to sort of make our way through the first 2 stages here. We are going to use one of these dugongs to hopefully pick up some more T&D or recovery orbs. Kaido's is just an end of turn HP card, just makes it very hard to stall successfully, like for extended period of time. So we did manage to get our verse meter fairly high. We couldn't max it, unfortunately, and if you can max it, using the verse ability on this particular stage against Hack is very, very handy. Hack gives us a big HP cut, so this is and gives us attack down, so this is where using the Corazon special can be very, very effective to not only move the attack down but heal back all our HP. Kaido does boost Dex units as well, so that helps us out significantly by bringing in a character like Corazon, who just has amazing utility. If you do have the versatility live, you can just literally break the barriers here and then just blow away them all, as you'll see is what I do with Hack on this particular stage here, as we can then take him out easy peasy with Kaido's end of turn damage. The fact that we can carry it into the next stage is really, really handy, as we don't actually get normal attacks only on this particular fight until we get to the Sabo and Koala stage. Against the Ivankov and the Kamakama girls, they're going to bind and despair our captains for 4 turns. This is where the special of Law is very, very good, because he can remove all of that. They also roll our specials back on our captains and our middle row, so make sure Law is down the bottom, in the bottom left-hand spot actually, and make sure your Corazon is down the bottom as well. Corazon actually being down the bottom probably doesn't matter too much, but Law being in that bottom left-hand socket is actually essential for the run, as we do need his special again later on. So after we just basically kill the redhead girl in the back, we can let Kaido's end of turn damage just do the rest for us. The amount of damage that Kaido can do with that end of turn blasts, like all of them actually, is very, very good. Now on the next stage against Sabo and Koala, we really want to make sure we can take out Koala as quickly as possible. So we are going to use the special of our friend Kaido, and we can use the switch ability of our Arlong crew to get a base stat boost as well as an attack boost for our entire crew. So unfortunately, if you do get unlucky with orbs, kind of like what I did manage to get an orb on my Law, which was very, very handy, but I just missed out on having enough damage to take out Koala. It's not the end of the world, because we are going to stall 3 turns on this particular stage anyway, as we do need to get our normal attacks counter down to around 3 turns. So on the second turn, we can take out Koala, and then we can just put in a pot shot against Sabo. And then we can take out Sabo on the next turn after we've taken 3 turns. Very important that we do take 3 turns on this, because Kaido is actually, using versus Kaido in this way is actually going to help us get around the normal attacks only by outspeeding the enemies in their way of actually giving that debuff. So once we kill Sabo, we can move on to the next stage against Morley. Now, Morley puts up 5 turns of resilience, 2 turns of defense up, and 2 turns of threshold. He's also immune to delay, which is very annoying. So what we want to do here is we want to use the special of our Kaido versus Big Mom, or our Kaido, I should say, before we use our Dofi special. Using Dofi special, we can remove the 5 turns of the resilience, and then with the support of Bellamy, we can remove the defense up and the threshold. With the switchability of Arlong crew, we can get a base stat boost as well. And if you can be Arlong, you are going to get a little bit of a better buff, as the orb buff from Dofi actually affects Arlong when you are in the Arlong form. We do still want to take 2 turns on Morley though, but we do want to try and output as much damage as we possibly can, as on the second turn, he is going to give us a chain lock, and he's going to give us a full board of Dex Orbs. So we just want to get rid of those Dex Orbs, use the Orb buff for the carryover effect to just take him out on that second turn. Moving on to the next stage now, we come up against Bello Betty and a bunch of her girl lackey friends. Having Corazon Limit Break Plus for this particular team is very, very essential. Otherwise, it is just not possible. We're going to use the Corazon special on this stage here to remove the attack down and the paralysis. And then we're just going to try and do as much damage as we possibly can. This is where we get our second lot of normal attacks only as well. We do have 5 turns, and we do want to try and get to the Carousel stage as quickly as possible, so he can't actually give us the 99 turns of normal attacks only. And with Kaido, it's actually very doable. Very, very doable. So on the second turn, we're going to take out Bello Betty, easy claps, and then move on to the next stage against Lindbergh. Now, this is where having Law in our bottom left-hand corner is essential, as he gives us 4 turns of bind and paralysis after socket. So Law can remove all those nasty defects. We can use the switchability of our Arlong crew to get a base stat boost, and then use their special to get a 2 times attack boost. And then with the support of our Fuji, we can actually get an orb on our Law. That way, 2 of our strength units actually have orbs, and with the attack buff, we can actually just kill, not Morley, Lindbergh. So with the type advantage, we just have 1 turn of normal attacks only. We make it to the Carousel stage, and because we already have the debuff, Carousel cannot actually give us 99 turns of normal attacks only. And that means we can use the big dog Kaido to start blowing away enemies. Carousel gives us 2 turns of Despair, and he has 2 turns of Threshold. And after the 3rd turn, he will continuously reapply that. Every turn he does give us a chain coefficient reduction, as well as randomly rotating our orbs as well. But with this Kaido team, we just have enough damage to tank the 2 shots, and then we can activate one of the Kaido's verse abilities, use our friend Kaido's special to get the carryover effect and the attack buff, and just blow Carousel away. Big Mom versus Kaido not only has their crazy verse effect, like especially Kaido's verse effect is nuts, but even without the verse effect, they are still, honestly, in my opinion, they're definitely still a top tier or a tier 0 legend, even without their verse ability, which is just actually crazy. So we can just let Kaido's end of turn damage do the rest, blow away Carousel, and move on to the final stage against Sabo and Koala. Against Sabo and Koala, they are going to give us a full board of T&D orbs. No, sorry, a full board of block orbs, which we're going to turn into a full board of T&D orbs with Kaido's special. And they only let us use 2 specials. But with the power of Kaido, we actually don't even need another special. We can literally just use the Kaido special, do the HP cut, get a full board of orbs, and with the carryover effect from the previous turn, we can get a orb buff as well. We're going to switch with our Arlong crew as well to get the base stat, and then we can just say see you later to Sabo Koala. The end of turn damage from Kaido is just going to do the rest of the work, and as you can see, we don't even need to attack with one of our characters. So that was Kaido taking on Revolutionary Army 2. Very, very fast. Now let's move on to the Big Mom team and see which one does it better. So onto the Big Mom team, this is what the team looks like. Notable supports here, we do have Perispero on our Big Mom, the limited rare recruit, and we do have the Germa on our Luffy Sanji. So Germa's not essential, but the Perispero support for this particular setup definitely is. So if you don't have limited rare recruit Perispero, your life it's going to be a little bit more tricky. So the subs that we have on this team, we are using the Colosseum Neptune for resilience removal. We do have Sugo Chopper, as he's amazing at removing attack down, as well as a whole bunch of other nasty defects. And then we have V1 Rayleigh to remove the bind, the despair, and the paralysis. The last sub we have is an absolute god tier sub for Big Mom, and that is our boy, Luffy and Sanji. So Luffy and Sanji can not only give themselves a guaranteed recovery orb every single turn, which Big Mom can actually use as healing even with your perfects, but they also give an attack buff. They're both boosted whether you are in the strength or the psi variation, and just makes it very, very easy for Big Mom to get her verse meter at max, so you can start doing some crazy healing shenanigans with Big Mom. On stage 3 against Hack, we are going to use our Chopper special to remove all of the tack down. And then we can just take our time here to take out the guys around the outside and then focus on Hack after the first turn. With the end of turn healing that Chopper provides for this particular team, we can just take our time on Hack. There's no real rush, as Chopper's going to give us something like 13k healing every single turn. With this particular team, we are using the Nostra Costello V2. That way we can just get a massive attack buff, and when we are above 70% HP, we can actually get a massive, massive attack buff. Sorry, I think I said attack buff earlier. I meant to say we get a massive HP buff. The 1.4 times HP with the Big Mom and the amount of healing that she has is just, it's actually wild. On the next stage against the Ivankov and the Kamakama girls, we are going to use our Rayleigh special to remove the bind and the despair that they inflict. Very important that you have Rayleigh in your bottom left-hand spot, because very similar to the lore that we had on the Kaido team, we are going to need his special again, and we do need him in that bottom row so he doesn't get his specials reversed, as well as being able to not be blinded when we get to the stage, the Lindbergh stage. So unfortunately, the Big Mom's verse effect is nowhere near as effective as the Kaido's. It's very, very good for long content, as the amount of healing that you can actually get through your Selma orbs, as well as by killing enemies, is fairly significant. So what I wanted to do here is I want to use the verse Big Mom special, just so we can actually get a bunch of healing back. You get like, what, 9k every time you kill an enemy, and then the Selma orbs provide so much healing as well after you've already done your damage. So the ability to turn Selma orbs is actually incredible as well, because of the ability to just have them not change. So that's the big upside to Big Mom compared to Kaido, is that Selma orb mechanic, as those orbs are very similar to like Wano and Rainbow orbs, where you physically can't remove them. On the next stage, we come up against Sabo and Koala. They're going to make every orb unfavorable, which is a little bit annoying, but we do have a little cheeky way of getting around that using the versatility of Big Mom. So we are going to switch with our Luffy Sanji and then use the Luffy Sanji special. That way we can get a full board of recovery orbs, and then with the versatility of Big Mom, we can turn them all into Selma orbs. Because Sabo and Koala make every orb besides TND unfavorable, this is a very, very easy way to maximize our damage against Sabo and Koala, while also giving ourselves a nice chunky amount of Selma orbs, which is just, it's just phenomenal. It's so good. The ability to just hit perfects with Big Mom too and still get healing is just so damn good, because if you run characters that have pinch healing, which this team does, every character, I think Neptune doesn't have pinch healing actually. Obviously Big Mom Kaido doesn't have pinch healing, but the Rayleigh, Luffy Sanji, and Chopper all have pinch healing. And if you actually have a recovery orb on a character that has pinch healing, you can actually stack the meat orb and the pinch healing. So Big Mom's just incredible for long-term events and just keeping your HP at a very healthy or stally limit. And then while using Luffy Sanji to just guarantee yourself meat orbs every single turn, you can just do some absolutely wild things, man. So on the next stage against Morley, he's going to put up 2 turns of Threshold and damage defense up, and that's where the Paris support is absolutely god tier, because we can remove both of them. Then we can use a special from our Big Mom to guarantee us some damage with an attack boost, and then we can use our Neptune special to remove the resilience, but also give a 3-turn orb buff to our powerhouses and our cerebral units. Now on this particular team, besides Rayleigh and Luffy Sanji, we are running powerhouse cerebrals, and as you can see with that orb buff and the attack buff from Big Mom, as long as you have a Selma orb or one of your Big Moms, you're going to do excessive amounts of damage to take out Morley. On the next turn, we can come up against Bello, Betty, and the girls. Now, the reason that I wanted to kill Morley in one turn is so that I could hang on to the Germa support for when we come into the Lindbergh stage. But you can take 2 turns if you want there, but if you do have the Germa support, it will trigger when he rotates your orbs into Dex. So because we don't take 2 turns, we do have to stall a turn, which is fine because we have heaps of HP with Big Mom. And then on the second turn, we can use our Chopper special to remove the attack down and the paralysis. Chopper's also going to give us 3 turns of end of turn healing, and because we lost all that HP by stalling 1 turn here, we can actually get it all back utilizing his amazing special. Big Mom obviously increases the chance of landing on recovery orbs as well, and just by hitting our perfects, we can just gobble them all up, just get a whole bunch of healing, and output a heap of damage as well. So I haven't really decided who I like more besides Kaido vs Big Mom, but like they're both just super incredible units. Super incredible units. Moving on to the next stage against Lindbergh now. He's going to give us a full board of unfavorable orbs, and this is where the support of Germa is very good because we can get a full board of T&D orbs. Then we can use our Rayleigh special to remove the blind and the despair, and then we can just put a whole bunch of damage into our boy Lindbergh here, as we have T&D orbs beneficial as well. As you can see though, like we are taking 2 turns on Lindbergh, so that's where I don't think the Germa support is essential. It is very nice using the Germa support though, because T&D orbs do affect Big Mom as well as recovery. Same with Kaido. Recovery orbs obviously help gain the verse meter as well. So just getting those extra T&D orbs can just guarantee us a little bit more verse meter before we get into the final stage. So on the final second last stage against Kurosao, he puts up the 2 turns of Threshold and he gives us 2 turns of Gloom, but we can actually remove the Gloom with the switchability of Luffy Sanji, which is very handy. Because we can remove the Gloom, 1 turn of the Gloom with Luffy Sanji, we can basically get our HP back, like our HP pullback early, and then we can abuse the recovery mechanic that Big Mom has. Once we've stalled 2 turns and the Threshold's gone on Kurosao, we can switch with our Luffy Sanji, get a attack boost with our Big Mom special, and then turn any recovery orbs we have into Selma orbs using the verse ability of one of our Big Moms. Once we've done that, we can just attack, and we should be able to win here. Okay, so we're going to use the Luffy Sanji special as well. That way we can just guarantee ourselves a full board of orbs. And then that way we can get the special of Neptune and get an orb buff with Neptune as well. And that way we can definitely take out Kurosao. Easy claps here. Surely we're going to take out Kurosao. Unfortunately, because we have the 3 turns of orb buff live from Neptune, we aren't going to get the amazing orb buff that Big Mom and... well, Big Mom versus Kaido provide, well, just Big Mom in this case, but we can still get the attack boost from Big Mom and rotate all of our orbs into Selma orbs as well. So that's going to wrap it up. Like I said in the beginning, guys, let me know which character you think did better. Let me know in the comment section below, whether that's Big Mom or Kaido. And if you did, while you're down there, don't forget to smash that like button for me. And if you're new to the channel, consider hitting that big red subscribe button too. And for all you bloody legends out there that are already subscribers, consider becoming members today. But guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, make sure to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, guys, I thank you for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Lights!